EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. Now the third running back taken in April's draft. This is James Cook. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were strong last week, CD, and that win over New England.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Allen. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air, Allen. And that is incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's got a man, complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A gain of 32 that time.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
1st and goal at the 1. They go play action now. Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are on the board first here this afternoon. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no thought of a return here for Hines. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Allen. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Allen. And that will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Allen going to go on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up. And it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They start the drive with Cook. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now. They run it again with Cook. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Third down. Here's a run by Cook. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on third down.
Let me get a little nautical with you, partner, because to me, that looked like a feeding frenzy of sharks out there. As soon as that play imploded, they all smelled blood in the water. Everyone screaming downhill, trying to get in on the hit for a big loss.
Allen will look to throw for it on fourth. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he is going to have the Bills first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Allen. This is brought in by the tight end, Tommy Sweeney. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Cook running right. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Back to the ground, Cook. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Allen hit. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
That's taken in by Duvernay. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Throw right side here taken in by Bateman. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rashad Bateman, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens take a 3-touchdown lead. Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no thought of a return here for Hines. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Touchdown, you guys. 14's the mic. 14's the mic. Situation, let's go. Check 50. Check 50.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. 21-0 our score after 1. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Cook again. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Jackson now. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Tucker now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given up.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Again, it's Cook. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd.
He's not going to get me.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter. Going for it on 4th down. Allen escaping the pressure right. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 22, Jackson. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens open the lead up to 34-0. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it, sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Forced out to his left. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
The offense on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Jackson's throws on target to Duvernay. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Jackson from the shotgun. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. On 2nd down, Cook. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I got you. I got you. Watch 18. 18's the mic. We ain't giving them nothing to do.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll